It's been a while. We're on day 7 now, and we thought we would give you some highlights of our time in London. So, while we were in London, we stayed with some friends in an area just to the east of London called Colchester, and we had a really, really great time with them. Now, the first day we got there and we stashed our bags in some lockers at the train station, and so we just went around London by ourselves. So we went to the Tower of London,
which was fantastic.
It was really amazing. We spent a lot of time there because it was just so fascinating, so fascinating.
So many different areas were open. It was incredible.
It really was. I mean, I don't know that I've ever been in a historical place like that has had access to so many different areas with so much to see. You know, so it was really good. What else did we do?
And the crowd, they weren't entirely tourists, so that was nice. Seemed like everyone liked going there.
Yeah, it was a lot of locals and then school groups and stuff, but it didn't really ever feel claustrophobic. Like, you know,
it was a big place.
When we went to the Eiffel Tower, it was just so many people in such a small space, and it felt so crowded.
St.
And we
Paul's
just
was claustrophobic.
wanted to get away. St. Paul's was a lot of people. Well, yeah.
We'll tell them about that in a bit.
Yeah, we're not there yet. So, what else did we do that first day? Tower of London, was that all we did? Mm-hmm. Okay, and then
we took pictures of the bridge.
Right.
We walked through a market.
We walked over to the London Bridge and we took pictures of the Tower Bridge from the London Bridge. And we intended to walk towards the Globe Theatre, and in the course of walking came across Borough Market, which was like an enormous like farmer / arts market sort of thing, really hipster, and decided to walk through it. And somehow every time we thought that we could walk through it, we would end up like in a completely different area than we thought we would be, and we'd pull the map back out and realize we had kind of gone in a circle, or we'd gone completely the wrong direction. I don't know how. It was like it sort of bent, you know, time and space perhaps, or something in this little market, because we would every time kind of come out a different way than we intended to. It could have just been, it was such a press of people, you know, and so many stalls, and you kind of just had to go with the flow sometimes. But it was really funny. So we ended up just stopping there. We didn't get over to see the Globe Theatre, and we actually didn't get over to see the Globe Theatre at all the whole time we were in London, but that's okay.
I mean, we saw Shakespeare's like monument or whatever
in Westminster Abbey.
Yes. So Shakespeare was recognized.
Well, yes, we did recognize him. We felt like we paid tribute to him.
We called him Will.
You know, peace, brother, and it was great, but we didn't do it that day. So then we got on the train. We went to out toward Colchester and stayed with our friends. And then the next day was Sunday, and we woke up and we went to church with them at an Anglican church, and it was a really great service. I've never been to Anglican church before, and we got to take the Lord's Supper, and it was a really, really cool experience. And after that, then they took us around and showed us the castle there in Colchester, and then we kind of got to look around a tea room that that someone in their family owns, and then we also got to tour a castle that one that is kind of in their family also. And it was really neat. It was a huge castle and called Lair Marley, and it was really awesome. We got a lot of good pictures there, so that was fun. And that was Sunday. And then the next day is when we went into London with one of our hosts, and we went to Westminster Abbey, and that was cool. It was really neat. It was
not like a church. It was more like a monument type thing.
It didn't feel as much like a church as it felt like it was just a lot
of museum almost. So a lot of statues and tributes to people and stuff.
Yeah, a lot of statue type monuments to, you know, deceased personages throughout history. So it was neat to see on a historical level, but not like the Notre Dame Cathedral, which was neat to see on like a, you know, like church history sort of, you know.
Right. Well, it was cool to see like all the places where famous people were buried, though. That's pretty
Yeah,
Interesting.
and we liked
enjoyed
Poets Corner, where we got to see, you know, a lot of people that we loved.
We didn't know them personally, though. I would like to add.
You know, you know people through their work, though. You know, get to see a slice of who they are and get to know them and get to, you know, feel that connection with them. And so it's kind of cool. Yeah, see like Lewis Carroll and.
I feel like you kind of took the line of the younger hipster person in this conversation.
I took the line of the artist. Anyway, so yes, it was a good trip. I'm glad that we went there. Then after that, we went to we cut across St. James Park and we got to see Buckingham Palace just from the outside. And then we went back through the park and we went to Churchill's bunker and we got to tour that. That was really cool to see the bunker where, you know, basically of course, Winston Churchill and the British military and government like planned, you know, their part of World War II and everything. That was really neat to see. Like they basically, you know, it was like his offices and you know, all these different rooms where people were living and stuff in this bunker. And they kind of just like laid their stuff down and walked out one day when the war was over and never returned. And so like everything's just left where it was, you know, and it's really kind of cool. It's like just a little, you know, capsule of history, you know, that's just been saved there and preserved. So that was really neat. After that, we were thinking we were going to head back home, but our host suggested that we go to the National Gallery. Is that what it's called?
Which we did not regret at all.
Right. It was really cool. We got to see works by Rembrandt and Monet and Van Gogh. Who else? It was so many
There was
famous
some Da Vinci
pieces.
stuff. There was.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, a lot. A lot of.
We didn't
really
pay
awesome
to go
stuff.
into the gallery that had Michelangelo stuff, so we only saw 2 of the 4 Ninja Turtles. I regret to say, but you know, 2 out of 4 is half. You know, 50% of the turtles covered. I think that was a pretty good trip.
Right.
And
You're not failing the turtles.
Right, and it was really awesome to get to see some of those works up close, like the Monet. Oh gosh, you know,
Seurat was really good up close.
yeah, and Van Gogh, like the sunflowers. It was so beautiful.
They were definitely more interesting in person.
Right.
I would say.
I didn't really feel the same way about like Mona Lisa when we saw that in France.
Yeah, it was just, there's a Mona Lisa.
It was like,
kind of how expected.
yeah, you know.
But Impressionist stuff certainly has like a depth that you
yeah,
kind
I
of need
guess
to be
that's
there
what
for.
it is. It was really cool, and we were really, really glad that we went and saw it. And then the next day we stumbled off into London by ourselves, and I say stumbled at that point because we've been going nonstop for days. Getting tired, people. So we went in by ourselves, and the only thing, let's see, we went in and we did St. Paul's Cathedral, and we're there for a lot longer than we intended because one of
wanted
us
to be in the service. And
I did.
Communion.
They were doing communion, and I wanted to participate, and so that took
40 minutes.
40 minutes. But it was really cool, like, you know, little guide that you listen to. You know, you could like select, you know, I want to hear more about this particular thing, and then you could listen to it. And what I liked about St. Paul's was that their guide, it would have like the little, it would have a selection for like, I can't remember what it was called, like quiet moment or something.
Oh yeah, reflection. It was reflection.
And you click on it, and it was like, it would like give you like a Bible verse and like just some thoughts on the Bible verse, and it was really nice, like to be like going through and then just to like stop and to like have this like little mini sermon almost.
It was a full day at that place.
Okay,
3 or 4 hours.
We didn't mention at St. Paul's, it's over 500 stairs, like steps up to get to the top of St. Paul's.
And we did it.
And we did it. And at this point, I want to say how incredibly amazed I am and how grateful I am that I went and did physical therapy for the last few months, because I could not even do 1 flight of stairs without my hips popping out of joint and without it being extremely painful. I was able to do 500 steps up, and then, guys, I got back down without any pain in my hips. Now, I mean, my calves were killing me, and my feet were hurting. Like,
We're going to be so toned.
But seriously, like, my hips have not popped out of joint, and they have not been painful at all this entire trip. And that, to me, is, like, I could not have done this like a couple months ago. So if you want the name of a really good physical therapist,
She's not gonna
in
tell
Orange
you.
Park, I will
Keep
I'll
it a
tell
secret.
You gotta ask. You gotta tell me you're interested, and then I'll give it to you. I'm not gonna hold it back, but you know. Anyway.
Kind of.
Okay, so then it was a very sad time to say goodbye to our hosts. We were sad to go. I mean, it was a really, really great time that we got to spend with these people, and I was really, really grateful for like them letting us into their house, and they were just such gracious hosts, and they, you know, did stuff with us when they could, and they fed us, and they like, I mean, it was amazing. Like, I mean, just kind of a brief, like, because, you know, as Americans, we don't really know. Over here, they get up and they have breakfast in the morning, and then you have lunch, about lunchtime, right? Yeah. And then around sometime between, I don't know, 4:30 and 6:30 maybe, you have tea. And tea is going to consist of, like, maybe a pastry of some sort, or like a hot cross bun, or you could have a crumpet or something like that with your tea. And then you have dinner at like 8:30, 8 or 8:30.
Yeah. Sometimes as late as 9.
And sometimes there's like maybe chips or crackers or things like that before dinner, as dinner's getting prepared, you know, maybe like a glass of wine or something. And then after dinner, there might be like a cheese tray, or like chocolates are normally brought out. You could have tea, you could have coffee, you could have an after dinner drink. It's a very social thing.
I must say, like, if I was feeling tired, then going down would be kind of refreshing.
It was great. It was great.
It was
we
great.
had so much time to sit.
Much better than going to bed early.
We had so much time to sit and just talk and just feel like we were just really connecting with people, and it was really awesome. I feel like in America, we don't miss out on the loving to eat thing. You know, that's like we love food, but I feel like maybe we miss out a little bit on like the fellowship kind of that goes with it.
Feels like we're more rushed at home.
Rushed, and then like everybody goes off to their own little corners after we eat. We do eat together, but you know, afterwards, and it wasn't like that, and which is why, you know, we didn't really have time to make the videos because we were doing that in the evening. But we just sat and just enjoyed each other's company, and then, you know, sometimes got a little late before we got to bed. So anyway, it was really great. Just again. So then this morning we got up, and they took us over to pick up our rental car. I know. And so we drove down to Stonehenge. It was the cool thing about Stonehenge was that we're like, okay, we're getting close to it, and Kayla's got the GPS, and I'm driving, you know, trying to keep my eyes on the road, because wrong side of the road. I mean, you think like I can do this, no big deal. It's freaking scary, people. It is scary driving on the wrong side of the road. Okay. All right, I get the point. You don't need to make me look more intense. It's scary. So I was just like, you know, white knuckle, just trying to drive, and she's over there with the GPS.
And
like, okay,
relaxing music
close?
/ energizing music.
She was trying to help me out with the tunes. Yeah, I'll give her that.
And I was navigating hardcore like all the time.
Except when she fell asleep, but we won't count that. Yeah, so we're like, okay, are we getting close? And then we look up, and there's Stonehenge. Like, it's in a field right beside the road.
There it goes.
And it was like, holy cow, it just like came up over the hill. So that was really neat that it just like, there it was.
It was nice, it was kind of up on a hill, and so you had like so much sky around you for all the pictures of Stonehenge.
Yeah,
it felt big, even though it was just a bunch of you know, rocks.
It was really cool. We took some pictures, not great pictures of us, but pretty good pictures.
The wind was intense, so we all look a little pained in the picture.
That's true. We do, like, you know, I'm kind of.
And then some foreign tourists started taking pictures of us taking pictures. I was embarrassed, and we stopped taking pictures. I was really mad at that guy. Have manners.
I was like, hey, sure, you can take a picture of us. And Caleb was like, what the heck? You have to ask people. She got really offended.
So annoying.
Whatever. Anyway, so we were going to go to Bath after that, see the Roman baths, and kind of check out, you know, the area that Jane Austen lived in. But honestly, we were pretty exhausted. So instead, we made our way here. We're in Oxford now. And I think it was a good call, because I'm really tired. And we're going to try maybe to get a bus or a train, something. I don't know what we can find, but something over and maybe go to the pub, the Eagle and the Child, where C.S. Lewis and Tolkien spent a lot of their time. But yeah, we're going to try and do that tonight, but I'm really tired, and so it's going to have to happen soon before I fall asleep.
I don't know, we just had tea, so like I'm kind of second wind. I can probably be out for a little while.
That's what tea's for, people. Kind of gives you just a little
If
boost.
you have a hard day and like you get on the wrong train and all that, and they're like, "Would you like some tea?" You're like, "Yes."
Yeah.
Very comforting.
Seriously, our host totally sent us along with a little bag of little snacks, you know, little chippy things. And when we got here, the woman that runs this Airbnb, she had tea supplies for us. So, I mean, they anticipated our need for tea this evening. Because hard day of traveling, you do need tea. It's true. Anyway. All right. Well, hopefully we'll have time to make another video tomorrow. Keep you guys filled in on what's going on. And we're like halfway done with our trip already. And to be honest, it feels like it's been
Years.
weeks, if not years. I mean, it feels like we have been over here forever. We're having a great time.
We've had just dividing the trip up, doing different places, has made it feel like we've gone on many vacations.
It's really true. It's
very
funny.
nice, but also like
Exhausting.
and like we've been gone for a long time.
So, like, if we do this trip again, we'll probably like pick one place.
For like a week.
I mean, we could totally just do the Louvre for like days and days. That was awesome. You know,
Unexpected. Awesome. Might I add?
it was more
Better
than
than we
we.
thought.
It was more than we imagined. Like, we weren't like going.
Well,
I
we
guess
already
have to
we already
see
had
it."
a video about Louvre. They know how we feel about Louvre.
It was awesome. I mean, honestly, I think at the end, what I'm gonna do is we'll do a video, and it'll just be like, these are the must-see things. These are the things that were our absolute favorites, and don't miss them. if you go with me.
Highlights.
Yeah. So, alrighty. Thanks for watching, and
Sorry, it's 17 minutes.